Welcome to this week's edition of WTHS News. I'm Abby Edmondson.
And I'm Mary Claire Kelly. Today is Friday, March 27th, and here are this week's top stories. Over spring break, Them Blankets went abroad. 7 THS students followed their calling to mission work in Nicaragua, while sophomore Katie Darnell and teacher Hannah Kimbrough visited an orphanage in Kenya, Africa. These trips were filled with teaching, building relationships, and laughing.
Let's see what they had to say about their unique experiences.
I had the opportunity to go to Kenya, Africa. We went to a village 45 minutes north of Nairobi called Lamiru, and got to spend some time with some kids that live in an orphanage. We flew out Saturday morning and got there late Sunday night, and we were there until late Saturday of the next week, so about 8 days. Our main focus was working with the kids in the orphanage called the Lamiru Children's Center. That orphanage is fully funded by an organization out of Columbus, Mississippi called Global Connections. Just loved on the kids. I got to play soccer with them, did Bible stories, arts and crafts, worked with Care for AIDS, just different organizations that work with just the poverty-stricken areas in Africa. One of my favorite things that we do, like I mentioned a second ago, is Care for AIDS. We get to go into the houses of people that have HIV, and we get to just love on them and talk to them and pray over them and just let them know that they aren't an outcast because of the disease that they have, and that's just a really cool, neat experience. Another thing is, obviously, I have a godchild in Africa named Peter, and he's a huge part of mine and my husband's life, and so getting to see him obviously is awesome, and he recently just got saved, so getting to talk to him about that and just experience that joy with him was awesome as well. Africa is a huge passion of mine. It is something that God has laid on my heart, so anytime I go, he's constantly teaching me, and I pray that he's using me. But one of the biggest things that I get out of Africa is, you know, you go on a mission trip wanting to help others, but really and truly I learn more and get more from going to Africa than I feel like I give to others, and it's because they have so little, but yet they're so joyful.
I went to Kenya, Africa for a mission trip. I went with my coach, Hannah Kimbrough, and Lindsay Brett, the drama teacher at Tupelo Middle School. We worked at an orphanage there called Lamiru Children's Center, LCC, and we played with the kids and helped them with their homework, and they're all different ages, so we did multiple playing things like soccer, played soccer a lot, or football.
I went to Nicaragua over spring break for a mission trip with my church. I think everyone should be able to experience not only going out of the country, but especially going to a third world country, just to be able to see the way other people live, and it'll really make you grateful for everything you have.
Okay, what made you decide to go on this mission trip to Nicaragua?
Well, I had been before, and I went my sophomore spring break, and I loved it, and I fell in love with the country, and the people are so nice there, and so I just wanted to go back.
What was the biggest thing you got from the trip?
Just seeing how happy the kids were when they had absolutely nothing, and how patient they were and loving towards us. So.
The biggest thing I got out of the trip is that they all have so little, and they're so happy, and they truly know what happiness is because they don't have all the distractions of everything.
Okay, what kind of work did y'all do in Nicaragua?
We went to a school, and we taught the kids Bible lessons, and we helped older kids with English classes.
My favorite part was going to the schools and teaching the Bible lessons, and we also got to go to some kids that are our age, their classes, and we taught them English, and it was really cool to see how they learn compared to how we learn. This summer I will just be living with missionaries that live in Nicaragua from our church, and just kind of doing what they need me to do and helping out.
I would definitely say if you have the opportunity, or if you feel like God's calling you to do it, definitely go, and don't hesitate. For about 2 years of my life, I was being called to Africa, and I pushed it to the side because I don't like to fly. But God is way bigger than our fears, and He's way bigger than anything else. And when He calls you to do something, you definitely need to do it.
And now weather. Spring is springing. Will the ground start drying up? Will sports get their games in? Can we finally start mowing our lawns? Let's look at the 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Abby. Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Quintera, and this is the weather for this week.
For Friday, we have a high of 57 and a low of 36. For Saturday, we have a high of 52 and a low of 32, which is perfect weather for outdoor sports. For Sunday, we have a high of 61 and a low of 47.
For Monday, it starts to warm up with a high of 69 and a low of 46, which is great weather for that golf match. Tuesday through Thursday, the high will be in the mid-70s and the low in the mid-50s, so great weather all week for sports. Danielle, what are you doing?
Getting ready for the next segment.
Archery is looking to improve on last year's third-place finish at state, while boys and girls powerlifting are bidding for trips to Jackson. Let's go to WTHS News reporter CJ Williams for more.
We took a look at a couple of non-traditional sports teams around Tupelo High School, including archery and powerlifting, both of which are doing extremely well so far this season. We spoke with members from both the archery team and the powerlifting team to get more information on those sports.
My favorite part about archery is just the people on the team because they make it more fun. Coach Raw is probably the best coach that we've had because she motivates us more than any other coach that we've had. This year, my average has gone up by about 20 points, so we should have a better year. I'm the top girl shooter right now, so maybe it'll keep that way.
In practice, we pretty much do a mock competition. We all have whistle commands. 2 means to go get your bows off the rack and then you go stand on the line. 1 is to start firing for the round, and then once everybody has completed firing and hung their bows back up, we then go down to the targets and score our arrows and pull them and then bring them back. Pretty much all the rules is what you would expect. You can't shoot your competition because you know how that goes. Have to follow the commands, and if there's any discrepancies in what you think a score would be, you have to call the coaches over or the game wardens, whoever's working the competition at the time.
Well, the season has gone a little wishy-washy. We haven't won that many games, but our scores are actually pretty high and higher than they were last year, so we've improved. Well, usually there's 3 teams at the meets. We divide each team into like 2 groups and we shoot at different times. And then when we shoot, we add them all up, everybody score up, and then we get everybody together and decide which one's the highest.
I think this year I'm better because I got a whole lot stronger than I was last year. On squat, I can lift like 450, almost to 500. That's my goal. And on bench, I can lift like 270, and my goal is 300 for that. And on deadlift, I can lift 380 or 385.
I like the practice of powerlifting because it's easy. You lift weights and you do your reps. I don't like powerlifting because of the techniques you have to use and the judging is hard.
Well, every day we come in and stretch, and then we do some warm-up lifts, to get our muscles all warm. And then we'll just lift and keep lifting until we can, reach our max and just do some practice stuff,
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of WTHS News. I'm Mary Claire.
And I'm Abby. See you next week.
Or will you?